The 580 Show. Let's go. The 580 Show. Let's go. The 580 Show.
Episode 126 of the 580 Show. Myself, Dante Frawley. What's up, boys?
So,
Well,
what's going on this week?
I don't know. You tell me. Well, got a couple things to talk about. Nothing too crazy in the strongman world. I think we're kind of in that downturn where World's Strongest Man just happened, Clash happened. Kind of. I think this is kind of the calm before the storm when everyone starts doing all their big competitions for the year, right? Like,
I think so. Yep.
the Arnold's over, World's Strongest Man, like I mentioned, Clash. So this is kind of when everyone does their qualifying online, regionals, whether it's OSG, Strongman Corp. USS Nationals is in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's kind of fair to say that USS Nationals usually kicks it off.
Yeah,
Is that fair to say? I think
that's a
fair
good
to say.
point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. June every year.
Yep.
And obviously for USS, their nationals is like their big event. They don't
Right.
have an Arnold. They don't really. I mean, they have worlds, but I think participation
It's developing. That's going to take some time.
Yeah, participation is low for that. But yeah, that's a good point. I think USS is kind of a Kickstarter for the season, and then everyone kind of goes gung ho with qualifying, like I mentioned, onlines, OSG regionals. We have two we talked about last week now, hoping they add a third, but no
Yeah.
idea if they will or not. We got
Right.
all the Strongman Corp regionals coming up. Obviously, we're hosting one of them. And then OSG qualifiers online will be huge in July. I'm sure that'll be. I wonder how many people will submit for that.
Last year there was a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot last year, and I'm wondering. I don't know. I mean, if a third regional is announced, it's kind of the same situation. So you think it would be pretty similar? Maybe I don't know. Maybe it inherently has some more year after year. There's more people that sign up because it grows, which that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'll be interesting though.
Yeah, I wonder. It's funny to think about how many people they have such a high participation. I think it's awesome the way they do their online qualifiers. You pay like $10 and you can be a member of official strongman games, which I really like because you're getting something back, right?
There's a whole lot more than I thought on that website too.
Yeah.
I thought I was
there
just paying
is.
$10 to stream like OSG the one time, and then I saw there's like a whole database full of like training footage and how to's or nutrition advice.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it last week, like that sandbag toss video. That's all, like just a ton of stuff like that. So that's a good point, Dante. But my point was how many people submit? It's a lot. How many people don't submit because they realize, hey, I may not get in, or I'm definitely you wouldn't not submit if you thought there was a chance, but hey, I'm not gonna get in because it's super competitive.
Yeah, so people just don't even put them out, don't even post them.
Something happens where they realize,
Right.
oh, I might not be able to make it now, just physically to that date. So I'm sure that because the last 2 years I've kind of like done qualifiers knowing I wasn't going to be going.
Mhm.
So yeah, I wonder, it seems like for that month, that 4 to 6 weeks, OSG qualifiers kind of like takes over our little Instagram world of strong.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? See everyone doing their 5 rep max deadlift or 3 rep max, whatever it is, and it's like it's crazy.
Right.
But
Yeah.
online qualifiers are such a they're such a mind fuck because inherently like you believe in yourself more than anyone, which you should, and you're always like, I could have done 3 more pounds on the log. I could have shouldered a. What if I put a 2 and what if I go to the gym and put a 2.5 pound plate in that 330 sandbag and make it 332 and a half, and I get 4 more points. It's crazy because I could have done 1 more rep on sandbag or deadlift or, it's such a mind fuck for you personally because it's not like being at a contest where it's like we get one shot, we do it, and the chips fall wherever they are. Like, dude, I did an online qualifier recently for all of you were there. I went back after I only had 1 week to do it because of the Arnold, but I went back with like an hour and a half left on the timer to submit videos just to get 1 more rep on sandbag.
Yep.
So it's like, it's
I was just going to say, I saw a lot of people doing that with the Shaw Classic because they finished up at the end of April. I think May 1st was the deadline. So like there were a lot of guys that were posting and they're like, hey, I got to go I got to try one more time and improve. I don't know, my deadlift or my farmers or my dumbbell, whatever it was. And Papa Don, he was a guest on the show, and he
Yeah,
was the first person out.
I know.
So it's like that sucks, but
Which
he tried his damnedest to get a better number for the one that he was after, and it just didn't work out. So like it's just the nature of the beast, but it is a little bit of a different ball game, right? Like the
right,
online qualifiers are just a little bit different. Like you got to be ready on those last couple days to go hit a number if you need to.
right. I've said it before, maybe on the pod, maybe just to you guys in passing, but one thing I hope if I ran an online qualifier, what I would do for like log and deadlift and stuff, instead of saying, okay, just do a 5 rep max deadlift, I would love to see an online qualifier do it like it is at a strongman comp and say, okay, all the lightweights do a 500 pound for reps, 60 seconds. And then, super middleweights, 600, super heavyweights, 700. And like that rep, I think and you get obviously maybe like a 1 to 3% variance because plates weigh a little bit off or whatever. But I think that would kind of, in my opinion, make online qualifiers a little bit easier to judge and to compete because people are going to keep trying those weights, but they're not going to get into that petty thing where they're putting a 2.5 pound plate in the sandbag, another two and a
Yeah,
half pound plate. You know what I mean? I just
yeah,
think it would be really cool to see, like, okay, for OSG this year, hey, for log, this is your class's weight for log. You got to use a 12-inch log, and that's pretty much the only requirements. Clean, press every rep. How many reps can you get in a minute? Just like at a show. I think that'd be really cool. And of course, we have maxes at shows, but it seems like maxes are always
So how do you do the tiebreaker?
that's a good point. Split
Right.
times. Split
I
times
think
like
I feel
set.
like it would have to be split times.
Mhm. Yeah, you could do whoever uh I mean, it would be up to the person running the online qualifier. That's a great question. I guess that's something that muddies the water. But
Right.
like, if we both got 7 reps, but I got my seventh with like 42 seconds in, and you didn't get yours till 59 seconds, I
Mhm.
guess I would win.
Mhm.
Yep.
But
I feel like that'd be the only way that you could do it.
yeah, yeah, or just split points, which sucks. But
Right. But you got to figure with
that's
100 entries. Like I think there was 100 super heavyweights for the OSG online qualifier last year. You got to figure out of 100 entries, you're probably going to have 10 people hit the same number of reps. I don't
yeah.
know. Just
What you
throw
could
it
do,
out, but
is incentivize people to not, like, because if say you get a 3% variance, you're gonna have people just automatically try to cheat it down. Like they're gonna try to go to, like, if their deadlift's 500, they're gonna try to do 494.
oh sure,
You
yeah,
know what I mean? So because you still have to weigh it on camera. If mine weighed 500 and yours weighed 497, I would take the nod over you. Not by much, but I would get like point 0.1 more points. I would just win that head to head. That's
yeah,
another way you can do it. But then I guess it gets back to the way it was before. You know what I mean? It's a circle. So
right.
I would just like to see that. Like, just personally, I would just like to see it put in, and a conditioning event this year. We talked about that last week, but something that tests moving a lot.
Mhm.
Some way,
I,
shape, or form.
I thought that sandbag carry 2 years ago was such a good and unique idea.
I just have to think it must have been tough to judge
Probably.
something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that takes a lot of time, right? You got to verify every single rep goes the whole way across the line,
Yeah.
back and forth, right? Like it's not like a 3 rep deadlift. 3 rep deadlift, boom, 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 you're done. No one's taking. I mean, most people aren't taking a full minute to pull 3 reps,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like
No,
you
it's
either get the
fair.
triple, or it's a max triple, but something like that probably takes a lot longer to judge.
Yeah. Am I wrong, or did every male use the same weight for sandbag? Isn't that true?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Mhm.
Because it was like it's like I think they kind of think like, hey, maybe a lightweight's going to be more conditioned and be able to move, but a
yep,
super heavyweight's obviously going to be stronger.
right.
Mhm.
Which, that's kind of cool. That's an event I want for OSU qualifiers this year. So like me and you can go head to head, and like
Yeah.
Dante, like, because it's going to push us even more.
Yeah,
Like,
if you want to get dusted.
yeah, but like you're gonna, and I think it would make it easier for gyms too, because like if you just train with a garage crew and it's like, hey, all we need is a 265 bag to this online qualifier. Hey man, let's all pitch in $25, get a
Yep.
Cerberus sandbag and fill it up to 265.
Yeah, and I
That's
think
kind
that
of
was
cool
the
too.
point. I think that was the point behind it too, because I
Accessibility.
remember listening to Lynn on a podcast, and he was like, He's like, yeah, the big boys, you're going to be breathing heavy. Like the smaller guys, you're going to have trouble picking up the sandbag. It's
Yeah.
just, but it's easy across the board. It applies the same way, right? It
Yeah.
applies the same way for all the classes. Like whatever your class, however your class approaches that event affects every competitor. Right.
Right.
That's what,
I would like,
so.
we should probably have Lynn on here sometime because we talk about OSG all the time.
Yeah,
Probably be a
that's
good,
true.
really good guest to have.
Sure.
And the last thing about online qualifiers is just it's me. It's I don't know how you guys think about it. I always think the worst in people. It's just not, it's just not like if it's a deadlift without suits, I always like just assume there's probably those scumbags that wear a suit under their thing and you can't really tell. And
Like that one powerlifting
she
meet where the guy had
yeah.
wraps
Yeah.
under his
And
sleeves.
like I just thought about it because like when Frawley was said it was probably hard to judge like the 20 feet back and forth or whatever, 20 meters for the sandbag carry. People just somehow, like cheat those cones in 6 inches and like try to be, I don't know. I didn't, there's no way around online qualifiers. I just always assume the worst in people.
Yeah, I'll be
Mhm.
honest. I mean, I haven't thought too much about it,
Yeah.
truthfully.
Yeah.
Now the Shaw Classic, you got to show everything. Like
Which is cool. That's,
you had to show the height of the handle for the farmers. You had to measure the distance. You had to weigh your plates, weigh your dumbbell, like everything. Like you had to show it all, and if it didn't show, it got discredited. So
yeah. That's the
it's
way I think it's
like,
got to be. I think in the world of online qualifiers being inevitable, like they're gonna be around.
sure,
I think they should be because we want strongman to grow, adds accessibility to everyone, pretty much anyone in the world can submit. So I just think the standards need to be held high,
sure,
you know. Um, but I mean, speaking of weight matrices for online,
yeah.
USS Nationals 24
Whew.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
released. It's funny because I was listening to Andrew Clayton on the table talk today, and he said his best, and this is a world record, a true world record presser, and a two-time world champion. And he's said his heaviest ever circus dumbbell was 270, and
That's
uh,
impressive.
and the weight for super heavyweight for USS Nationals is 240, which
Yeah,
I mean we can talk about it, and I would love to have the guy running it on here. I'm
sure.
not. I know some of the people we've had on the pod and some people I'm friends with through Strongman know him very well. I will say I looked at that weight matrix. It's funny too because USS National they release everything so far in advance.
Yeah, that's the other thing
2023
too.
isn't even done
Twenty.
yet.
I'm
Right.
competing. I'm competing in three. I still have 3 weeks of lifting to
Right.
compete in 2020 till I compete at 2023 USS Nationals. And the matrix, the location, the times, everything's out for 2024. And you're like,
Yeah, right.
so it's. I mean, they have time to change the weight matrix if they would want to. I'm not saying they would have to, but I mean, curious your guys' thoughts because I mean, I know mine was as soon as I looked, I was like, holy shit, there's some heavy
Yeah,
stuff on there, which I don't know. I
yeah,
mean, Dante, you sent me a really good clip from Greek Goliath.
Mhm.
And he had some really good points. And I'm not knocking on anyone, but I think it's something I've said to you guys is one thing that is weird about USS Nationals, and it's a huge event for them, is
mm,
every year the promoter changes. So there's that variance in, and I don't know how much the leadership of USS has in the say of weight matrix stuff like that, but they appoint a state chair to run that every single year. So it
right.
changes so much. Like if you look at the events from this year to next year, this year has some goofy events that aren't really traditional strongman events. You got a lever deadlift, you got a weird like worm drag, and then 2024. I love the events.
Yeah, they're like traditional strongman
They're
events. They're
they're
great
blue
events.
blood. Yeah, they're
Yep,
blue bloods, man. You got a yoke, you got a
yep,
stone, an Atlas stone that's heavy as hell. You got a circus dumbbell, which is a traditional press in strongman. You got just a normal ass stiff bar deadlift.
yep.
Mhm.
And what's the and you got a
Sandbags,
max
Sandbag to
carry and load.
shoulder and carry,
Yep,
yeah, sandbag to shoulder, right?
yeah,
and then
shoulder
carry
and
at
load.
25 feet.
Okay.
Yep,
So I mean, those are blue blood events. Those are
right.
cool. Like, so I
Mhm.
love the events. I will say they're like the circus. I would say so. Let me rewind. Let me rewind because I mentioned the Greek Goliath post, which I thought was really, really good. I think and it's fine that they do it this way. But USS Nationals is very easy to qualify for. It's
Right.
probably one of the easiest things to accomplish in the sport. And I'm not knocking on anyone. I have a ton of examples, and I mean everyone understands it. You can win a show as a novice and you get invited to nationals.
Right.
And be there can be two people in your class. You show up and zero, you maybe move a sandbag 2 feet and then you zero the other four events. And then, here's your national invite because only two people showed up. Same thing with three people. So it's like, I think they just need to make a decision because it's like, if it's this easy to qualify for, but then you have a circus dumbbell that's 240 pounds, you're setting a lot of people up for failure. Now, I would say the human in me would say, for all of you're a grown man, you have the capability to look at the weight matrix that I put in and make an intellectual decision whether
Which I
you're going
agree
to
with that.
fly to Denver, which I 100% agree with. But I
Yep.
do just think it's weird to have it so easy to qualify for, but then so much heavier than years.
Yeah, like he kind of said in what you're referencing, he said he's like, you have these weight matrices that are set up, but whenever you're trying to get somebody like prepared for a nationals event, you should be setting them up in a way so that they can succeed when they get to that next level, right?
Right.
And like I don't it's kind of hard to say like when it's so easy to get there, are you really setting people up to succeed at that next level for what they're qualifying for? And obviously it should be harder. It should be more challenging.
Right.
Like are we talking like from level 1 to level 5, like boom, like a big jump, you know?
Like winning a
Yeah.
novice show, going right to that. Like your novice weight could be like a 405 deadlift
Yeah.
for max.
Yeah.
And you're
See, that's my biggest gripe, and that's something
Yeah.
I've stood by and I always have is like I think you should encourage you should never because there's no accountability for novice,
Right.
really. I mean, technically, I mean, I would be a huge piece of shit and a scumbag if I did this, but I could go to a USS show in North Dakota next weekend and sign up as a novice.
I don't think there's anything stopping you from doing it.
I mean, maybe down the road they may say, okay, this kid's, been at a higher level, stuff like that. But you're like, there's no accountability. So
Right.
I think when you don't have like, there's no like desire to go to open really because you can sandbag and win a novice show.
Sure.
That's my gripe is like, okay, if you want to have podium at a show, I mean, that's still going to be really easy. What I think is there should be parameters on it. If there's
Mhm.
three people in a class, I don't think top three should go.
Yeah.
Because then there is nothing stopping you, literally nothing besides showing up at the venue and checking in to making nationals.
Yeah. And
So
we've
it's
talked
like,
about it before. We've talked about before too, like if you're a novice, you're trying something for the first time. And I think most people agree it's kind of silly that the novice competitor can go to nationals as a
right,
winner. And I'm not saying like I'm not discouraging anybody from trying the sport, and like everyone's a
right.
beginner at some point.
Right,
But
but that's what novice should
but
be.
you're a
It should
novice. I
just
mean, no,
be for
yeah,
it should be for
yeah,
beginners. Trust
yeah,
me, like if I would have done my first ever show and won as a novice, I'm glad I didn't get a nationals invite
right,
because if I would have went and just got
right.
like absolute and you're just talking about starting to risk injury and stuff. I mean, stuff like that. And it does go back to the counterpoint here would be, well, you're a grown man.
Yeah,
You
use your
gotta
brain.
be you gotta use your brain.
Yep,
But you know, for some people, their goal may just to be to go to nationals, and
sure.
that's great. But I do think novice, it just means you're a beginner. It shouldn't because if you can qualify for nationals as a novice, why are we having a novice class? Just have everyone in the same class, and the people that are trying it try it, and you know what I mean. It's like
Yeah,
that's the one thing about the system that kind of rubs me the wrong way. Is you're just setting
yeah, yeah.
that's what makes
Well,
it kind of look just like yeah.
and
I
this
don't
is no jab. This is no jab at the guy, and I think it's a guy and a girl. I think it's a couple
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
is
there's
running
two
USS
people.
Nationals.
Oh
But
no.
you're now going from being a novice level competitor, novice weights. You win your class, and you're going to this show, and you would essentially be doing OSG level weights, right? Like weights that are so like they're. I mean, you're top of your class if you're hitting these weights,
Wasn't
Right.
and I
World's
think that's
Strongest
fair to
Man
say.
Doesn't World's Strongest Man do like 900-pound yokes or something like that for their heavyweights?
That was last year, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did the
And,
car walk and it was 900 pounds.
and this one's
one way.
950. This one's 950 down and back.
Yeah. So
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's Justin and Katie Menning. I knew their last name
Okay.
was Menning. I think they own Iron Titan Gym, which is an awesome gym.
yeah, that's nice.
Like CJ Kraus, Ben Logan.
Yep.
Actually, my buddy Tim just moved out there too, and it seems like it's an amazing gym.
Oh yeah,
I'm-
Tim Copeland just moved there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So definitely not knocking them. I would love to have him on, promote the contest, and kind of see like how he came up with his matrix. Because like I said, I'm not knocking it. I think
It's just really heavy.
I think
like
yeah, I think
it's
it's
just heavy.
interesting.
So
Like-
Yeah,
I
they
would
do.
be-
They do run the gym on the website.
Yeah. I just think it would be cool to see like, hey, what made you decide like do a really heavy circus?
Sure.
Like, just kind of think about and talk about USS Nationals. So yeah, good point. I definitely don't want to take it as like a jab or anything.
Yeah, like
that.
that's not the point. We're just discussing it. That's all.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure.
um
But yeah,
Maybe
I mean,
maybe they
but
just
the
maybe they just want the.
deadlifts-
Oh, sorry. Go
Go
fine.
ahead.
Go. I was gonna
Go
say
ahead.
maybe they just want the best of the best with this one.
yeah,
Sure.
and that could be 100% it, and that's awesome if they do it.
I'm cool with that.
And it's like
That,
whoever
Mhm.
shows up, like, hey, we're not gonna try to have 1,000 people at this nationals. We're
Yeah.
gonna actually make it a nationals, and I
Yep.
think that's cool as hell. If that's a great point, Dante.
Yep.
Because if they're like, hey, we don't want the 650 that were in Dallas the last year. We want people that think they got a shot at a 240 circus and a super heavyweight that thinks he got a shot at a 400 stone.
right. We
I
want
did-
to showcase. We want to showcase for this show. Right.
There is
That's cool.
there's
I'm down with
500 spots available and 486 spots left right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I do think with USS, if you're a state chair, you automatically get like dibs to sign up for nationals.
Yeah, you do. You do. I saw a post
So-
about that.
Yeah.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, no, there's just something that was on my mind about it. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about in the world of strongman right now?
I saw, I don't know, this is just personal. This was me scrolling Instagram today, and I got really excited because Tim Buck is hosting a show in North Carolina, and it's not till like later in the year, but there's a Max Squad event, and I'm really excited about that. I hope I can make it. If I can't, I can't, but
Is it on
I
our
love-
podium?
I don't think it's been announced yet, but I saw that he posted on his story, said that strongman need to squat again, and I got really excited
That's awesome.
because I love squats.
I might make that a shirt. Make strongman squat again.
Yeah.
It's a good
Like,
shirt.
Dude, I'd like it.
I'm trademarking that. No one make that shirt. I'm gonna make it. I just want to put in
Yeah.
like the Trump colors that make America great and make strongman squat. I love.
I'd love to see some squats in
Yeah, me too.
in
I
some of
think-
the bigger shows. Like
I think
I know
people
it's hard
don't
to
do
run.
it because it's hard. Yeah, I think that's why.
Yep.
Yeah, I did a really interesting squat in a show once where it kind of took a lot of the hard work out of it, and it was a max 3 attempts. It was a max box squat.
Okay.
Okay.
And you had to pause. You actually had to wait for an up command off the box.
Huh.
And I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like that's a kind of unique twist on it. But yeah, I would love to do a squat event. It's weird. My first 2 strongman comps I ever did both had a squat, and then I haven't done a squat since.
Huh.
Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
what was the local show that had squat like 2 years ago? Was that Strong
Strong
Again?
again. Yeah.
Oh, did they have one?
Yeah. They had an axle. It was like a world's strongest man style squat with an
Oh, that's
axle
cool.
and the big wagon wheels and stuff.
I forgot to put in my compliment about USS Nats 2024 too for the Mennings. Stiff bar deadlift for reps.
I like
is
that.
Fucking sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Like,
that.
You
I'm
never
bringing
see
that
that
to-
show. You never
I'm
see
bringing
that
that
shows
to one of
anymore.
our shows. Yeah, I'm bringing that to one of our shows in the future.
All right, let's vote right now, Frawley. Me, you, and Josh.
What?
Mhm.
Should we change the 13-inch axle for regionals and battle the
No,
bridge to
it's way
a
too
max
close.
stiff bar deadlift?
It's way too close to make any changes.
I vote we can change it.
Well, good thing you're a competitor, not a promoter.
That's
Hey,
true.
you pick a deadlift, man. I'll do it. I don't care.
Yeah, I just thought
Deadlift's
I
deadlift.
thought that was really really cool. It was a power bar deadlift.
Sure. That makes it gritty and tough.
Yeah,
Like a stiff bar is so much less forgiving than a deadlift bar.
I think those weights are like perfect. 675 for you, Frawley.
Yeah.
Six.
Comparatively speaking, it's actually like, oh, okay, those are pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Mine would be
And then
And then I look at the other ones, I'm like,
635.
man, that's
How
heavy.
many would you get on 635, Dante?
635 round, dude. I have
Be
no idea.
realistic. Be realistic.
Dead
Maybe like-
stop.
Maybe like 5, 4 or 5
They're dead
right-
stop too.
right now.
No touch and go.
I'm doing
Well,
fi-
I haven't
I'm doing
done like
15.
I haven't done a stiff bar deadlift in God knows how long.
I know it's awesome. I'm doing 15 with 545.
We can do a little challenge, Josh, like we did way back when. Whoever deadlifts more.
All right.
Oh yeah,
Follow
you
me.
guys will beat me. I'm not gonna.
I think the stone's cool too. But
Yeah,
but yeah, that's all I really think I had to say about that. Um USS Nationals. Anything else crazy happen? Let's
not
close
Well,
this.
recently, but it's
if you're
coming, man.
if you're a
Yeah.
competitor at Bridge and regionals, check your emails. We
That's
got
what I
the
was just gonna
videos.
say.
Got the
Yeah,
videos coming
dude.
out. How
Dante
tos.
Dante's killing the video game. If you see our how-to videos, if you guys go, even if you're not competing, if you go to 580 Barbell on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, but you can see like every event we do, Dante films me doing like the rundown of what I'm going to expect my judges and volunteers to do and help and what I'm going to expect of my athletes. And then we put on YouTube. And
Right.
we do it just so there's no there's no questions, there's no doubts, there's no anything when you show up for our contest. And I
Yeah, you're
love
not
it.
gonna show up and be like, "Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know about that." Well, then you probably didn't watch the video that you got
right.
emailed.
So we're doing
So
everything in our power to be proactive and not surprise you on June 24th and 25th.
we've talked
What do you
about that
guys?
too before. Like we're hoping that like that can kind of become a norm.
Mhm.
Like where it doesn't take a lot for like all of us have uploaded a video in some way, shape, or form on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Well,
So like
everyone
if
has an
you have
iPhone now. You can just
yeah,
literally
so
hit
like
upload video.
if you it doesn't have to be professionally made. It can just be, hey, we're gonna run you through the event here real quick, 30-second video, boom, done. And then post it to, I don't know, your page, your gym's page, or your show's page, whatever, right? It's just it's easy. It doesn't
Yep.
need to be
Hell,
an
Yeah, I
you
mean
elaborate deal.
you can even
that's
put it
what
in a
they're doing,
Google Doc drive, like Josh said on our podium. Promoters can just email everybody,
dude.
share that
Oh,
video
Yeah.
right there. You don't even have to upload it to anything, just Google Drive.
Hmm.
Everyone has a Google Drive.
yeah. Yeah, honestly, even like you can on Iron Podium, there's a button like Dante just mentioned. It literally just says communicate and it just says send to, and then there's a button. You just click all athletes, you make the email subject,
Yeah,
and you can literally just say, hey guys, I just posted event videos to my Instagram page. Go
that's
watch.
cool.
Like you
That's
can
cool.
do that. You know what I
And
mean?
Yep.
if any
Hmm.
promoter wants to do that and doesn't know how to do that, they're more than welcome to reach out to us and
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
more than welcome to help.
Hell yeah.
It's only good to help grow the sport. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, those videos are awesome. Um, I'm trying to think what the next. So I'll be competing in 3 weeks.
Hmm.
You guys will be competing, which is crazy. I was thinking about today. This would be by far the farthest I've ever had to travel for a strongman comp in 5 years.
Oh yeah, for
Like
sure.
I've been so lucky with. I mean, when you first start, your first couple
hmm
of years, you're like, hey, I'm not gonna. There's no reason for me to go to Florida unless I want to go to Florida, and I don't not a
Right.
big travel guy, so it's like I've always done. And then first year nationals in Roanoke, 5 hours or whatever. This year is Erie,
Right.
done a Ohio strongest. I mean, other side of PA, but like never anything too crazy. So this is my first time ever having to go on a flight um, for a
Sure.
comp. So it's a whole new level of preparation. Making sure my food's gonna be there when I need it.
Yep.
IV. I will say USS Nationals is doing a fantastic job at accommodating us as athletes. I'm really, really thankful for that. Um, like right after weigh-ins, I have an IV scheduled. They have an IV company at the convention center, like the location. I really like it because I'm staying exactly where we compete. I'm staying where my IV is going to be. I'm staying where I pick up my food. It's a
That's
one-stop
cool.
shop. So
That's
there's
cool.
like just like we did for our show last year, you can order meal prep. So I
Hmm.
went through last night, did all my what my macros would be after I weigh in, everything like that. Ordered all my meals for me and Allie. I pick it up right at weigh-ins. So really, really accommodating in that sense. But
Sure.
yeah, so I'll be at USS Nats in 3 weeks. You guys are both getting ready for regionals.
3 weeks after
I'm,
that,
dude, I'm so excited. I'm
we're
so
getting
excited.
close,
I
man.
just got off my call yesterday with all like the signage, banners, everything like that. Gonna try to make it even better presentation, better
Sure.
presentation this year, and just continue to try to grow it. You know, but it's funny we do this big show every year, and it's at the American Legion. So making the best of what we can, and they're so good with accommodating us and everything. But just
Right.
trying to have more signage and stuff like that to make And I think you athletes will be really, really pumped with, your goodie bag and stuff
Sure.
like that. So
Yeah, we got some cool sponsors.
yeah, we have some really cool sponsors, man. I mean, I can shout a couple of them out right now. We got big name sponsors this year. We have Rain.
Mhm.
Man, shout out to Rain. They hooked us up with a lot of energy drinks. Every athlete's gonna get an energy drink. I'm not gonna say everything. Grip Mountain chalk.
Best
Granted,
chalk in the game.
every single athlete's gonna get liquid chalk.
Yep.
Obviously our subs, which we got some big news coming with our supplement line, but our supplements, they'll be every athlete will get a free scoop. There'll be free, unlimited free pre-workout the day of the contest, stuff like that. Serious Steel Fitness, Zone Smelling Salts. Cerberus is the presenting
Mhm.
sponsor. I
That's
mean,
awesome.
look at this. Throwbacks right here. It's blurry, but you can't see it. But throwbacks right here sitting next to me that I'm filling up to finish for the thing. Um, and yeah, winners of regionals and bridge are getting some money for Cerberus.
That's
So
awesome.
to use at their site. That's cool. We have a veterinarian office.
Oh yeah.
Freaking, so it's really cool. But we have some big name sponsors coming through for this year, and that's really, really cool to see the growth of it. And it's crazy, like I was telling Ken from Cerberus is just how thankful I am. It's crazy how much they support strongman.
Right.
It's nuts. I mean, feels like every single show you see now is sponsored by Cerberus.
Right.
So it's like it's so cool, and that's a goal of mine down the line is to be able to sponsor a lot more shows.
Sure.
And
So
a lot of good things about sponsors too. Like Ralph Avalon said, like just start sending out emails, just ask. Like there's no
yep,
hurt in asking. Literally just find businesses, find companies that you think might have an impact in your show, and just literally just send them an email. A good written out email or whatever. But like
right,
the worst they can do is say no or just not respond. But
right,
you're never gonna know unless you ask.
100%.
So if you're trying to like, grow your show a little bit, just might have to do a little extra leg room or
Yeah,
work, but
yeah. But no, that's cool. I'm really,
Yep.
really excited to see everyone June 24th and 25th. If you're semi-local or you're coming, whatever, and you're interested in volunteering, let me know. Always can use more volunteers. Um, and yeah, I mean that's all I really have. Once we get through regionals, we'll see what the plan is for everyone else.
Yep.
But yeah, unless you guys have anything else, I think that's good for this week. Great
Good
episode.
man.
good deal.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for listening. 580 Barbell on Instagram, YouTube. Check out Grip Mountain Chalk, Horsepower Pre-Workout. Check it all out, and we appreciate you guys listening.
Tell your friends
Later.
to subscribe.
Yep.